What's up, y'all? It's your boy Shazni. Alright, so first off, y'all can see I'm extremely happy because my second most anticipated film of the year, The Northman, was next level pure straight fire. This is a film that reminds you why you love cinema so effing much, why you're so obsessed with it, why I'm on my pursuit to become a filmmaker. It reminds you of everything you love about that art form and what it can be. And of course, this film is not for everyone. This is not necessarily for the masses. When it comes to Robert Eggers, of his filmography, yes, this is the one that is very approachable for many. But this is still a hard house epic tale. But I love the presentation of this film because yes, it is unique. There's some very much of Robert Eggers stuff in here, and the way it's executed, the way it flows, the way the camera moves, everything about it is very specific. It's very artistic, and might not be for everyone. But I sure do hope many of you, and as many of people, can really give it a shot and let yourself immerse into this world. It is brutal, but not quite as brutal as people make it to be. There are some images that may be very disturbing, but it's only few couple of moments, couple of seconds. Eggers doesn't linger on those disturbing images, which I appreciate because I'm not somebody who enjoys those stuff, but this didn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was there and it was like, oh my, it was a kind of a, you get a reaction and then we move on. They don't linger on those elements. So in terms of if you're afraid of the brutality, it isn't that severe. And if you're somebody who watches Indian cinema has far worse of brutality. Maybe they don't showcase it in this level, I guess, in this tone, I guess. But there's some far worse things that happens in the commercial films from Indian cinema. So come on now, all right? It's not that like horrifically brutal as some made it seem. Me walking into the film based on the reactions, the early reactions and such. This is an epic revenge tale with far more complexity than many suspect. It is a Viking film, and I don't know much about the history, but I know Robert Eggers went to the most accurate version of it as possible. And Alexander Skarsgård, this dude was on a whole nother level. He truly transcended as an actor for me with this film because every single frame I felt his complex, hardened, yet approachable emotions, relatable emotions, his animalistic emotions, his human emotions, yet bringing forth that sturdy, tough presence. This dude is like a goddamn train going through people and is built like an animal. He has that bear look. He has that bear vibe and feel, but moves like a wolf, which is a basic instinct and the craftsmanship of this character. And I really, really loved how he portrayed that. The way he walks, the way he stands. And even his vulnerable sides were explored in a very beautiful way that I really, really appreciate, which is something that I wasn't expecting. So that was a pleasant surprise experiencing this amazing, epic, brutal, beautiful journey. Some of the action sequence in here, it is absolutely breathtaking. I was just edge of my seat enjoying the life out of it. Visually, we know based on The Witch and The Lighthouse, Robert Eggers is very precise. And his art really comes through, shines in such a grand scale in this film for me. I loved The Lighthouse. I loved The Witch. But The Northman is going to be a film I'll be watching it multiple times in theaters. This film cost about 70 to 90 million dollars, and I don't know if he could make his budget back. All right, it's a pretty big budget, and shout out to the production houses to really allowing Robert Eggers to come through in that budget, because most studios will be like, listen, we really love your vision. You seem very passionate, but it's not a great business move for us. And you can really understand that point of view. And at the end of the day, the audience, the people, we make the decision ultimately to what kind of films the studio should be making. So if you want more of films like this, if you want more original films, and there's many this weekend and this throughout this week until Doctor Strange comes out, there'll be a lot of films for you to go out there and support as original films. And if you want Hollywood to have that balance, listen, I love the DC, Marvel, Star Wars, the big spectacles. I love those films. I enjoy those films very much. But I also love films like Northman, Everything Everywhere All at Once. All those kind of films are also necessary for cinema, even in this current state. Not only in cinema, but in theaters. Because in streaming, we get some movies here and there, but we want to experience these films on the big screen. And as audience, as fans of cinema, we must make the effort that we would do for Spider-Man, for a Doctor Strange film, or a DC film, or whatever, a Star Wars film. We gotta make the same effort, or even more, to go out there and support films like The Northman. So if you have a theater near you that playing Northman, make the effort, because whatever you're gonna feel at the end of the movie, you may like it, love it, not like it, it's gonna be an experience worth having. You can see there's an artist behind this film, an orchestrator behind this film, putting all of it together, taking so much care within every single frame and shot. Is something that is absolutely worth and must be experienced. Also, let's talk about the music. One of the best soundtracks of the year. Might be the best. It was creative, it was exciting, it has so many layers to it. I really, really loved the sound design of this film. The film was beautifully shot. Some of the imageries were truly breathtaking, aesthetically very, very pleasing. Seeing Alexander Skarsgård that massive, that dense, looking like an absolute beast covered in blood, it's an imagery that I really, really enjoy watching. This video made me make me sound like I'm some sort of a crazy person. I just love how that feels on a artistic level, on a visual standpoint, seeing that, because we don't get that very often. You know what I'm saying? Like that aesthetic, that physique with that kind of a scenario. It doesn't happen quite often. There's a lot more visuals that I wasn't expecting that I got, that I really, really appreciated. Came out from some old school art. It felt like a painting coming to life. The rest of the cast were all fantastic. Everybody delivered a great performance. But again, Alexander Skarsgård delivered something that I was expecting, but it was even more. He went even deeper. There's moments in here that you aren't really expecting, and you don't even know how he'll react. Because when he's starting the film off with his journey as a child, and when he becomes an adult, you don't know where everything stands. You don't get quite where he's at. And then you start to see more of who he is underneath his tough skin. And that's when a lot of these connection, emotional engagement that really brings in. And that is a tough thing to do when it's all this massive dude shredded to the goddamn core. The dude looks absolutely amazing. You cannot walk out of this film not want to go get your membership for the gym. All right? It's just what it is. It's just like, it is what it is. Or I would even suggest for those who likes training, train before heading into the movie, because you'll walk out like a Viking, bro. Because that's kind of the experience you'll be having. But the way he was able to emote internally at points, because this character is about being an animalistic, having this animalistic behavior where he literally roars his way through the film. But there's moments where a lot of what he feels is internal, and the way he performed those moments was truly spectacular. I really, really loved watching his work in this film. This film truly had everything I love about cinema. Many other genres and movies focus on more of a specific set of ideas that this film showcases, but it had Great drama, great tension, great performance, great visual aesthetics, great composition, great score, great action. You get the best of all of cinema, and I really some weird dark humor, offbeat humor here and there. So I really enjoyed the entire execution of this film. But I think having all those things really taken seriously, because Robert Eggers really takes a film seriously, might not be for a lot of people, but it was certainly for me because I ate the hell out of it. Overall, this film is an absolute masterpiece, the first masterpiece of 2022. And there's other movies that I'm looking forward to throughout the year, but it's going to be hard to top this one for me. With that said, guys, that is my thoughts on the Northman. I'm looking forward to watching it again and again and again, because I want to go out there not only to support it, but I actually really enjoyed the experience. Listen, my favorite genre is action. So when a director like Robert Eggers does action in this kind of an execution, for me, it's just best of both worlds. And it's hard to do. That's why I'm in love with this film. That's why I'm cherishing it so much. Because we won't be getting this more often anyways. Because it's $790 million and opening weekend wasn't big. It's going to be all dependent on word of mouth. And some people aren't finding it as entertaining as I did. But hopefully it will make his money back. But hopefully the word of mouth will let the studios know, you know what, time to time we could, invest into a director's vision just for the legacy and history of cinema. And Northman was best of both worlds to me. The art house, also this brutal, exciting action, both coming together with an emotional, engaging revenge tale that executed so beautifully. With that said, guys, let me know what y'all thought of the Northman in the comments down below if you've seen it. If you haven't, please make the effort to go do so. You won't regret it, I promise. It's definitely, whatever you're going to feel at the end of it, again, whatever you feel at the end of it, it's going to be an experience worth having. I can promise you that much. With that said, if y'all enjoyed this, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you guys on my next one. Salute.